The landscape of global trade has been increasingly shaped by the strategic use of tariffs, particularly as the U.S. navigates its economic and geopolitical ambitions. The ongoing trade war with China serves as a prominent example. Since the initial imposition of tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods under the Trump administration, these measures have persisted, largely maintained by the Biden administration. The ramifications are profound, impacting various industries, notably semiconductors, steel, and solar panels. The U.S. has aimed to protect its domestic industries, but this has led to a tit-for-tat response from China, which has retaliated with tariffs on American agricultural products, aircraft, and automobiles, creating a complex web of economic friction. In addition to the trade war with China, the U.S. has employed Section 232 tariffs on steel and aluminum, citing national security concerns. These tariffs, set at 25% for steel and 10% for aluminum, have not only affected the targeted industries, but have also prompted significant retaliatory measures from allies like the European Union, Canada, and Mexico. These nations have responded with tariffs on iconic American products such as whiskey and motorcycles, illustrating how interconnected and sensitive international trade relations can be. While the Biden administration has engaged in negotiations to ease some of these tariffs, the underlying tensions remain, highlighting the precarious balance of trade diplomacy. The current geopolitical climate has also prompted the Biden administration to consider additional tariffs, particularly on Chinese-made electric vehicles. This move is intended to protect the burgeoning U.S. electric vehicle market from being overwhelmed by foreign competition. However, such a strategy could provoke further retaliation from China, potentially restricting exports of vital materials like rare earth metals. These minerals are essential for semiconductor production and other high-tech industries, underscoring the intricate dependencies that define modern supply chains. The reactions of other nations to U.S. tariff policies reveal a broader trend of economic self-defense. China's counter-tariffs on American soybeans and pork have placed considerable strain on U.S. farmers, a demographic that has traditionally supported American agricultural exports. Additionally, China's restrictions on critical minerals like gallium and germanium add another layer of complexity, as these materials are indispensable for advanced technology production in the U.S. The European Union has also entered the fray, threatening tariffs on American tech companies while implementing tariffs on U.S. biodiesel. The EU's consideration of tariffs on American-made electric vehicles is a direct response to U.S. subsidies that favor domestic production, further complicating transatlantic trade relations. This dynamic is indicative of a larger trend where nations are increasingly willing to protect their economic interests, even at the cost of escalating trade tensions. Emerging markets like India have followed suit, raising tariffs on American apples and almonds in retaliation for U.S. steel tariffs. Although some of these tariffs have been rolled back following negotiations, the initial imposition reflects a growing trend among countries to assert their economic sovereignty in response to U.S. policies. As companies reassess their supply chains to navigate these turbulent waters, many are relocating production from China to countries like Vietnam and Mexico. This shift not only reflects the immediate impact of tariffs, but also hints at longer-term adjustments in global trade dynamics. Furthermore, the U.S. is actively seeking to strengthen economic alliances with nations such as Japan and South Korea, aiming to counterbalance China's influence. In summary, the strategic use of tariffs by the U.S. has ignited a complex interplay of retaliatory measures from other nations, reshaping the global trade landscape. As industries adapt and supply chains evolve, the ongoing economic and geopolitical strategies will continue to define the contours of international relations, with the tech war between the U.S. and China emerging as a pivotal front in this multifaceted conflict.